we see back-to-back wins on back-to-back nights for the Orange and Blue? Well, we'll find out as we get you set for the Oilers of the Blue Jackets right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Hello, everybody. Good evening or good late afternoon to you. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. Second straight night as the Oilers and the Columbus Blue Jackets get set to go toe-to-toe. Nat, so we had a good time here yesterday. It was a quiet Sunday, but a couple of tables showed up. Combine crew, Rip City Step, and it looks like a few more people are going to be coming out tonight as Monday Night Football is going on, and then the big Oilers game starting at just after 5 o'clock, and then we got the Reid Wilkins show with Milne wrapping up the final hour as well. Shawn Belle in for Matt Cassian. Do you want to tell everyone what's going on?
Well, you tell. He texted you, and he went to the wrong location. He's battling the Monday after work traffic trying to get here. So, hey, it happens to the best of us.
I mean, I only said Boston Pizza Westgate about 100 times over the last 2 days. I'm kidding. Belsey, just get here safely, and we'll be ready to go for you. As people are starting to trickle in, you can see over our shoulder. You can see the golf simulator, by the way. $20 an hour. Best rate I've seen in the city. It's in a great spot. They've got the TV. They can do anything with that screen. The boys were playing it yesterday, and owner of BP Westgate, Curtis, actually broke a club, and it went skittering across the floor. Nobody was hurt.
I love the sound of it, like when guys are taking guys or gals are taking shots.
Oh,
It's cool, man. It's cool. I'm excited, though. I'm going to have a nice meal after this, watch the game. And then, of course, we'll be back with the post-game show later on tonight as well.
Come on down, Boston Pizza Westgate, here across the street from West 7th Mall, 170th Street and 90th Avenue. And, hey, I got to mention, too, we talked about the simulator. There is the QR code on the side. That'll bring you to the schedule. And if you want to book the simulator here at BP Westgate, that's what that QR code is. And then there is a kids Halloween party on Thursday from 3 to 6. Curtis was telling me that about 4:30 to 6 is booked up. So if you want to get in there a little bit earlier, get your reservation in and give them a call here at BP Westgate, 780-481-6822. There's like face painting, obviously treat giveaways, special drink for the kids. I know if your mommy and daddy need mommy and daddy drinks, those are more than plenty and available here at Boston Pizza. And then just the details for the kids' Halloween party. Wear your best Halloween costume. They're also going to have the drink. I remember the name of it. I'm going to look it up right now. It's coming up here on my screen. And, I mean, it's a good way to do it, actually. It's the Fuzzy Worm Slush.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay, and this is what it is. Like, even if you're an adult, you might want a little sugar rush. It's raspberry puree, citrus slush, 7-Up, topped with whipped cream and strawberry sauce with a gummy worm.
Wow.
On top, they have Poke Ghost for the first 20 kids, 12 and under. They can Poke Ghost, score a special treat bag, and then the face painting. It's going to be great, and win a kid's gift basket. So 12 and under, book table, 780-481-6822. From 3 to 4:30, they've got some availability. 4:30 to 6 is pretty booked up. Right now, that is Boston Pizza. If you want to find them on socials, Boston Pizza, 170th Street, Facebook and Instagram. All right, Blue Jackets and Oilers. Edmonton 4-4-1 after that overtime win in Detroit last night. The Blue Jackets 3-3-1 as we proceed here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Text us 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat. Just really quickly, a look back at last night, what we saw. Some people didn't love the game from the team. We've had a night to decompress, and we talked about a little bit. What would you tell those that are just tuning in?
Yeah, a good final 40 minutes and how many seconds into overtime? 18.
Yeah.
Good 40 minutes and 18 seconds. Yeah, they started slow. Like, could have been you're going on the road. It's a Sunday game, a little bit earlier than you're used to. I know excuses, but it took them a while. Corey Perry dropped the mitts again.
Yeah.
Got them going a bit. But after the second period and well into the third, I think in the third period is pure domination by the Edmonton Oilers there. And they were able to – but the important thing here is, Tom, is they found a way to win the game. They were really good for the final 40, and hopefully they have a better start today. they haven't had a lot of success lately in Columbus or against the
I
Columbus
know.
Blue Jackets, which is a little bit wild to me. But this is not a gimme game. The Oilers got to be ready, and sometimes they're guilty of waiting, to see what kind of game they have to play.
Yeah.
No, like they should set the tone tonight and go at them and hopefully pick up another 2 points, because these are. We always talk about points in October. They all matter the same, Tom. So for me, this game is not a gimme. They got to come out and they gotta be strong. I like Reid Wilkins on the Nasty Chat. Will the Oilers start with 97 and 29 on the same line? Love Reid, man. He's the best. That's a good question. We're gonna get to that too. So
we'll see. We'll give you anticipated lineups for tonight. I love that. Read the wrench in there. That's so good. You brought up the stats about the Oilers in Columbus, and then the Oilers against the Jackets overall lately, Natso, not particularly great. They've lost their last 3 visits to Columbus, and they are they've won 1 of their last 5 versus the Blue Jackets total. Columbus 2-2 at home this season. Edmonton 2-1 on the road. Columbus started out the year loss, win, loss, win, overtime loss. So what is in the pattern right now.
What are you saying, Tom?
I don't want to say it, but the trends have not been good. Look at this gentleman over your shoulder here. Shame. Get in here. Shawn Belle is finally here. Get in here. Grab a seat.
Hey, he made it a lot faster than I thought he would.
Yeah, well,
so.
he's got a heavy throttle foot. Belsey is here on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. We do have a lot of great prizes as well. Tony and Curtis, like yesterday, if you came here, you had a great chance to walk away with a prize. And Belsey will be the model for the prizes because there's a lot of them. Hello, Belsey. How are you?
Hi, Tom.
Hi, buddy.
Hernan. Great to see you, by the way.
What's up, buddy?
Great to see you.
My goodness.
Right? Just getting ripped on air. I can hear Tom. I told him 1,000 times. Nope, told me once. I'm a dad, Tom. I'm a dad. I forget things at this point.
Oh, boy.
Here we are.
Okay, good to see you.
Great seeing you
Shawn
too,
Belle,
man.
our game analyst, in for Maddie Cassian. Happy birthday to Cass, by the way.
Oh, happy
Today's Cass's
birthday.
birthday,
I didn't even
yeah.
know.
Birthday cast.
Absolutely. So he's coaching tonight, and then maybe he gets a little bit of a birthday celebration. So Belsey, a good teammate as always, filling in for Cass here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. If you need any plugins, where everything is,
thanks,
figure
man.
it out.
Appreciate that.
We do have 6 o'clocker logger available here at BP Westgate. And again, we're going to get to the prizes that are going to be given away. The deal is when you come down here, if you're coming to watch, whether it's football or the hockey game, every time you buy a beverage, alcoholic beverage, you get a raffle ticket, and then it goes in the fishbowl. Trevor's favorite. He loves those fish bowls here at BP. And then we will draw prizes at the first intermission, second intermission, and then we have the grand prizes for the end of the game. We have a Bauer winter jacket. It's like a fleece line winter jacket. It comes with pants too. Yesterday we had toque and mitts with it. And then there was a speaker yesterday as well. Today we've got an Elks jersey, home jersey.
Nice.
Which is great. And we also have a couple more hats. We've got some Oilers t-shirts, some UFC t-shirts. And I think there's a couple more things. Tony was telling me he had one more item that he wanted. I think it's a Chargers jersey.
Yes, he did say Chargers,
Because we're celebrating Monday Night Football as well. So come on down.
Are you going camping?
No, I like you know what? I like
So why do you have a sleeping bag on?
This is not. It's a vest.
This is nice. It's
Rip
nice.
City Steps as the gun show, eh?
Oh, man.
Very trim fit physique. But Hernan got me on the vest look, and it's not.
I got mine too. I'm just not wearing it.
Yeah,
like Tom
exactly.
right now. Maybe I should have.
Yeah. You came and disrupted the show. Thank you very much. Okay, get those texts in 780-218-9999, and then get in the nasty chat as well. Oilers and Jackets, Tom Gazzola, Shawn Belle, Hernan Salas, all on location. Boston Pizza Westgate. Come on down if you want a bite to eat. And I've got some GC's $25 gift cards that Tony gave us as well to pass out to the Nasties who decide to come and enjoy the game with us, along with the great prizing. And then the golf sim, you can see it in the background. They've turned it into a TV tonight. All right, we were talking about the Oilers and their struggles in Columbus. We're talking about the win yesterday in Detroit. Belsey, from what you saw last night, the slow start, they had one shot in their first 13 minutes. What do you make of the way the Oilers are starting this 4-game road trip?
Well, I wasn't crazy about the way that they started. I
Mhm.
mean, this is actually probably going to play into some of the points that we're going to make later.
Yes.
But yeah, like I just feel that, you do so much work and you play so hard against the Penguins. And you want to see that carry over to the next game. And for whatever odd reason, they just come out completely flat. And Detroit was all over them. Like,
Yeah.
I know that the Oilers are the better team, but in my opinion, like, you want to come out, you almost lost that game purely because you didn't start well enough. And then the NHL, if you don't play well in the first 20 minutes, the first 15 minutes, like, there's chances that you can lose those games. And you don't,
Yes.
for the Oilers, you don't want to lose those games. These are points that you have to go get because there's other teams that are going to go out and get them.
Mm-hmm.
And you just want to see that, you're still trying to find your game. Yeah, you're still upset about what happened at the end of last season, but we got to get over that. It's time to get over that. We're in a brand new season, and you need those points, and you got to start rolling because it can't be the same tired record over and over again. Yes, I understand they're 4-1-1 in their last, 6 games, but once again, we consistently talk about their starts.
Right.
They're too good of a team to potentially lose a game or to be in a situation where they're not, completely coming out and rolling right out of the gates.
But Shawn, why is that? Like, you talked about they played their most complete game on Friday. Yes, in part, Pittsburgh was pretty bad. But you take the good. Like, why does this team constantly, when they're starting to feel good about themselves, even though it's one game, why do they constantly go into the next game and start a little bit flat? Because, like you said, this isn't the first time we've seen this.
No.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. Myself and Tom have talked about it at great length. And, part of me thinks that these guys think that they're that good and they have that much skill that they can battle their way out of basically any situation.
Sure.
And I guess reality is that we've also seen that.
I know.
Right, where they've been able to flick the light switch on and now all of a sudden they're rolling. And that sometimes plays into that where it's like, okay, well, yeah, we're a little bit sleepy, but, we got Connor, we got Leon, Hyman and all these other guys that can get us back out of it. But unfortunately, you don't want that to continue on. And that's just, that's what we've been seeing. And so I don't know how you switch that up. Is it bringing in more veterans? And I think that's partly why they bring back a Perry. That's partly why they had Mike Smith come back for an extra year, because those are the guys that are like, hey, let's get a little juice going here, guys.
Yeah.
Well, Perry with that fight yesterday kind of woke them up again. That's
100%.
what the third or fourth game where a fight has actually gotten this team going. So, early payoff for that contract. A lot of people, myself included, were like, "Why did they bring him back?" Okay,
and he's been really good for this team.
Yes,
he's dragging them into the battle sometimes. So I have no issues with Corey Perry right now.
No, that's that veteran savvy that.
But I guess the question for me is, why does he have to be the guy that's dragging him into the battle?
Yeah. Why does the oldest guy on the team have to be the one?
100%. Like Connor, Leon, you guys are. I mean, we saw all the prime stuff. We saw the Amazon, the videos. You look like you were losing your mind and you want to drag these guys along. So to me, the leadership has to be the guys that are dragging everybody along.
Mm-hmm.
How long can you use the excuse that they were playing such at a high level in the finals and then you're kind of rolling into the start of the season, which is a lot slower? I wouldn't say it doesn't mean as much, but when can we stop using an excuse that this is a Stanley Cup run hangover?
Game 1 in the regular season.
Thank you. I love it. Yeah.
But 10 games.
Today is game number 10.
You give 10 games and you say, okay, guys, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Now it's time to go. We don't want to, they're coming along perfectly fine. Like I said, they're 4-1-1 in their last 6.
Yes.
So that's great. But we want to see those engines going.
Yeah.
Do you remember Colorado, the year that they won?
Yeah.
There was no doubt in my mind every single time they touched the ice that they were winning that game because they were flying. And they used what happened at the end of the season as fuel to get them going. They're saying, hey, we're pissed off at what happened, the result. We're going now.
Florida
nobody could exactly. Florida
and
did
Florida
the exact
this
same
year. They just won.
Yeah.
And they're not messing around, right?
Yeah.
All right, text us 780-218-9999 if you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Apple Music, and of course, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And then if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. We appreciate you, and get some texts in as well. People talking about coming down for the game tonight. Come on down to Boston Pizza, Westgate, 170th Street and 90th Ave, right across the street from West Edmonton Mall. Do you want to, before we get into game changers, you want to show off what we got? We got these hats with the handkerchiefs. Norman, a combine,
beautiful hat.
He
right
won
there.
that yesterday.
Put
He's
that
like, I
on.
want one of those hats. He won one.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
I
Look at
can.
that thing. That's
I am.
beautiful.
There's proof there that we didn't just give Norm one.
No,
he
he-
actually did win. His
Yeah.
ticket was selected.
Legit.
So.
Oh yeah.
And then we got the jersey there.
This
We've
is
got
a
an
nice
Elks
one here.
jersey. It's a large,
Yeah.
size large. We got a fresh one there. Very nice. The new era version. Very good. Give one of those away. And then there's some T-shirts. Belzy, if you want to display that.
Nice little
We
oil
got
jersey.
the oil.
right
We got the
there.
neon
That
orange.
thing's
Yep.
pretty.
People like that.
Wow.
And then there's a UFC T-shirt. And then there's
That's in the bag here. There's lots of
there's
stuff.
a lot
Wow.
of great giveaways. So what's that one?
Oh,
UFC.
this is a nice one.
UFC.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we
dark
go.
heather gray.
Very nice. See?
Wow.
And then the
big
grand
deal.
the grand prize I think will be the jerseys, and then there's a Chargers jersey, and then that's a Bauer
That looks like
winter
another
jacket
sleeping bag.
with stop it with pants. Let's get into game changers with Mr. Jokester, Shawn Belle, our game analyst. Of course, this is the Oil Stream pregame show brought to you by GCL Diesel. Game changers is always brought to you by Damon Bunting, a Remax Elite. Damon Bunting, consistent top producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian Remax realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Number one, Belzy. Good start. Go
Well,
for
we
it.
just talked about it. We want to see the Oilers come out, and they want to. You don't need to win the game in the first 10, 15 minutes of
Yeah.
the game, but they need to have a start where they're getting more than one shot in
Yeah,
the first
please.
15 minutes of the game.
Right.
The Oilers, when they're going, they are relentless on the forecheck. They pressure teams, they cause mistakes, and then they continue to roll. It's like a wave for them.
Yeah.
If they can just come in and, give me half of that, I would be happy. Because once the Oilers get rolling, well, we've all found out they're a pretty good team.
Right.
So don't wait. Get into the game early, whether that's here's a cliche answer, is get hit, give a hit, dump it in, do whatever you need to do to be ready for the game. But you got to get it right off the gate, like right off the start. As soon as that puck drops, you got to be ready to go because you don't want to lose points at this time of the year because you weren't ready.
Right. Well, they have done well. You talk about 4-1-1 in their last 6, and then even Reid and I were talking too. The goaltending has been pretty solid. I think the save percentage was 9. Can't remember. I'm tough with numbers, but
at the
he
same
was saying
time,
that
yes,
the save
it's been-
percentage was great. The GAA has been much better.
It's been fantastic, but the
Outside the
reality is
first
that
couple.
they've also been giving up crazy chances.
What?
And they're
Why
now
are
making
they doing
making
that, Belzy?
because they're not ready to go. And when the Oilers aren't ready to go, they bleed chances.
Yeah.
We've seen it last year. We've seen it this year. And right now they're lucky that the goaltending has been good because if those guys haven't been good and making highlight reel saves, they probably aren't 4-1-1. Because that game yesterday could have been 3-0.
It should have been if it wasn't for Calvin Pickard. Belzy, you said something to get on the body. Are you guys surprised? Because I heard it on the morning show with Lieutenant Eric and Ryan Rishaug, where the Oilers are almost or last in hits in the NHL. Does that surprise you guys?
Not even a
Nope.
little bit.
No. Okay.
Reid has that stat. It's Skinner's been 9-15 since the Winnipeg game. Thank you,
Okay.
Reid Rick. I'm glad you're listening. Appreciate that.
Fair enough.
But he mentioned that to me. I'm like, well, he feels like he's been that way, and I think he's been one of their best players the last handful of games that he's gotten in there. Obviously, the Carolina game, he gets the shutout against Pittsburgh. We're going to see him tonight, and I expect his game to continue to build because that's the trend that has been of late for Stu Skinner. And then Calvin Pickard went out and gave them a good backup game. So
Yep.
I think the goaltending, we were talking about with Joaquin earlier too. I'm like, I think goaltending has actually been one of the team's
Been
most
one of the
consistent
strengths.
parts of it this year. All right, let's go to number 2 on Game Changers. Hernan Salas, if you'll do the honors, please.
Yeah, special teams. Again, the power play yesterday didn't look very good. What I did like, guys, though, the second power play, he made the quick switch. Nugent, Hyman out, Skinner and Arvidsson in. So I'm intrigued today to see who starts. Is it going to be the regular 5, or is he just going to go and make those 2 changes? So the power play's got to get going and take take some out of what happened with Bouchard. How did he score yesterday? Just a simple pass,
simple
shot to the
Ekholm,
point.
simple shot.
Yeah.
And so part of what is going on with the Oilers is that they've kind of gone to that well where it's Draisaitl in his little corner,
Yeah.
and they're constantly looking for it.
Mhm.
There's so many other options on that team in their five. Bouchard with his shot. McDavid, he's about as slippery as they possibly can be.
Yeah.
Nugent Hopkins has a really underrated shot. And Heim in the net front has been really good. But every single time they do something, they're always looking to go back to Draisaitl. And yes, that works.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now teams are starting to overplay that. So you have an unbelievable talented group of players. Use them all.
And they're forcing it.
Exactly.
In that Pittsburgh game.
Consistently forcing it.
McDavid on one power play forced it 4 times. And 3 times it was picked off. And the 4th time, it just, I don't know where it went, but it didn't get close to Draisaitl.
Right.
So I agree. And then, you look at Columbus, penalty kill 80%. So they're going to be a good test as well. Their power play is just as bad as Edmonton's. But for me, Edmonton's got to keep it simple. And I'm intrigued to see if he's quick on making a change if that first unit's not going.
Yeah, I mean, it's 13%. I'd rather see more pucks on net.
Yeah.
Right? You've got Hyman standing there. He's a great guy in front of the net. Arvidsson's really strong in front of the net as well. You have guys that can create a little bit of chaos in front of the net, get pucks there, and then have guys start to crash, and maybe you get a greasy one.
Yeah.
And then if you get a greasy one, maybe now you're starting to feel good about yourself, and then maybe you can try to open some things up. It's almost like body punches in a boxing match, right? You keep going for body punches. Eventually, something's going to open up, a.k.a. the seam to Draisaitl, and then now we can hit that shot.
Okay, the Oilers' shooting percentage, and this is something that's come up a lot, and rightfully so. It's just over 6%, and everyone's saying, and I think we all understand that that's going to change. It's not going to maintain that way. But like, Belsey, is that an easy out, or like how do you look at the shooting percentage being so low, and how do you assess something like that through 9 games?
Well, the angles of the shots, like you want to try to score goals in the house. Like I teach my kids that we got to crash the net, we got to go to the net, we got to get greasy. But when you're trying to take shots through, you're wheeling on the outside and you throw it through a seam and you're trying to take a shot from the goal line, essentially, that's not the greatest high percentage shot. Now, luckily, Draisaitl's an elite shooter, but most of the other guys in the NHL aren't going to hit that shot.
Right.
So we need more shots from, right in front, the house. Gager, how's it going, buddy?
Joaquin Gage is here?
Oh, look at this.
Oh, look at this.
Full of surprises.
Wow.
But you need more shots right down Main Street.
Yeah.
Right? Get guys in front of the net, crash, bang around there, and you'll start to find that there's wide open chances, and those are the ones that are going to go in, which will help your shooting percentage.
And you brought up Ekholm's goal from Pittsburgh. Like the second power play unit gets on there for 20 seconds and they score. Why? Because it was simple.
It's a very, very simple shot.
Yeah.
He works to the middle of the ice. He takes a little wrister, guy in front of the net, goes right in. And Arvidsson's not the biggest guy, but he's the guy that screens him, and here we are.
It is Game Changers with our game analyst, Shawn Belle. Joaquin, can you please not text us laughs and jokes and inappropriate photos while we're on the air?
Oh, that's amazing.
I love that he's here. We're at Boston Pizza Westgate. Come on down. Lots of great prizes tonight. Buy a beverage. Every beverage you buy, it gets you in on the raffle draw. You get a ticket, and then we've got an Elks jersey. We've got some great, it's like a winter jacket, fleece line from Bauer Hockey, and there's pants that come with it. Yeah. A bunch of Oilers t-shirts, UFC t-shirts, a couple of hats, and then a Chargers jersey. Tony says we're going to give away as well. 780-218-9999, and then Nasty Chat. Rob from the Grove says, why did they stick you guys by the back wall? We want to get like the shot of the lounge. Course. So, and plus it takes up a bit of space, but it allows us to kind of get a vibe. It's better than having like the wall as a backdrop, right? So you get.
And we can look up at the TV.
We got the TV right here. Yeah, it's really good.
Hey, Tommy Edmonton's Maddie on the Nasty Chat. Gager ditched Reid, Jay, Zach, and I just to show up at BP's. Guess we know who his favorites of EST.
Ooh,
yeah.
He's not even listening.
He's not even care. Okay. Number 1 on Game Changers was Good Start. Number 2 on Game Changers was
Special Teams.
Number 3 is
the kinda big boys.
Well, you know who the big boys are, but then there's the kind of big boys. Nugent Hopkins, Skinner, Arvidsson, Nurse, Hyman, Those guys need to start going because right now it can't be just a 2-horse team in the sense that McDavid and Draisaitl are always consistently putting up the points. You bring these guys in because they're guys that are supposed to contribute, and unfortunately, they're not contributing right now. Skinner probably has the most with 2 goals, but after that, Nuge has 1 goal. Nurse has 0 goals. You've got Hyman with 0 goals. These guys need to get on the board, and they need to start being able to contribute. Now, with that being said, Hyman has had tons of chances, and he's a little bit snake-bitten, and you feel that the minute he scores, it's going to kind of go off. But at the same time, these guys need to start rolling so that they can now help the team and they can elevate everybody else.
You know what's interesting? First of all, I'll start with this text that comes in from McLovin. He's kind of poking the bear a little bit. I think it's kind of funny. So what if the shooting percentage doesn't change, though? Then you're hoping to God that you win 2-1 games the rest of the season. But with this offensive firepower.
The goals for are 2.3, which is 30th in the league.
Yeah.
Let's hope it does.
Look at the goals against average.
It better go up.
Yeah.
Giving up 3.2. So they're scoring at the 30th most efficient clip.
Yeah, that's not good.
And they're still 4-4-1.
So you're going to want to hope it goes up.
Yeah, you would think. So that's McLovin. I know you're kind of just chastising, but that is a scary thought. Speaking of scary things, we did the draft today. That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I was listening, and you guys did excellent. Without the big man there.
Without the big man. Get well soon. We want you to get well. Dusty, hope you're feeling better, pal. Let's see what we got in the nasty chat. Lieutenant Eric checking in says, hello, boys. Rick, get down here. This is your backyard. This is a home game for you, so come on down. Oh, no, he's got Monday Night Football.
Monday night, yeah.
Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Go and see him. And that's right. Otherwise, Lieutenant Eric would be on hand. All right, so that was Game Changers, brought to you as always by Damon Bunting, Remax Elite. Number 1 was Good Start. Number 2 was Special Teams. Number 3, the Kinda Big Boys. And I do need to let's get to the Columbus Blue Jackets lineup really quick because we're still going to wait to see if the Oilers put Travis Dermott in or change any of their lines. I guess we'll probably see something similar to last night's lineup. If there's change, would you guys be surprised?
Like in terms of
forward unit?
No. Because Chris Knobloch's changed the lines almost every game. Right, so
we'll see during warm-up. That
would not surprise me.
Here's what we're expecting from the Jackets. Sean Monahan between Cole Sillinger and Kirill Marchenko. Adam Fantilli with Yegor Chinikov and Mikhail Putia. Don't be fooled by the P-Y-Y-H-T-I-A.
Okay.
He's Finnish, and it's Putia. Sean Corrali between James Van Riemsdyk and Kevin LeBanc. Justin Danforth.
Future Oiler.
Zach Aston-Reese and Matthew Olivier. What is this, 2023? Zach Werenski paired up with Ivan Provorov. Jake Christensen with Damon Severson. Jack Johnson paired up with Jordan Harris. In goal tonight for the Oilers, 25-year-old Stu Skinner, 2-3-1 record, 306 GAA, 890 save percentage in 6 games this season. Skinner versus Columbus, he's got a 2-1-1 record, 224 GAA, 923 save percentage in 4 appearances versus the Jackets over the course of his career. And then at the other end of the rink, it is 30-year-old Elvis Merzlikins, 0-2 this season, 368 goals against average, 854 save percentage in the 2 games he's played. Merzlikins versus Edmonton, 1-2 record, 308 goals against average, 906 save percentage in those 4 appearances he's had versus Edmonton. Let's go to the Advantage Sports Medicine injury report. At Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy, we treat you like the pros. Our multidisciplinary team includes sports medicine physicians, along with highly skilled physiotherapists, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage therapists. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance performance, we treat you like a pro using the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. For the Edmonton Oilers, just Evander Kane, LTIR, abdominal surgery. And then Columbus actually has a few notable ones. Kent Johnson, day-to-day upper body. That's a big one. Eric Goodbranson, IR shoulder. And then their captain, Boone Jenner, Bellsy, a guy you really like and would think he would look good in orange and blue. He's on the IR with the upper body issue. Anything on lineups, Jackets, or injury situation? What would you guys have to add to that?
No disrespect, but I look at this Columbus lineup and the Oilers, I mean, they better be ready to go here. I mean, don't give
It's-
him any
it's
life.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
It's a sneaky team, and they can't.
How though? Look at that lineup. Like, what are you looking at and going, I better be careful tonight?
Cole Sillinger, Monahan has been half decent.
Marchenko's
Marchenko's
good.
been half decent. Fantilli's pretty good. Kevin LeBlanc is a couple seasons removed from 20 goals.
Yes.
John Corrali's actually not a bad player. Van Riemsdyk. Like, this is going to be a hardworking team.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready to go, they're going to sneak up on you.
Jackets 3-3-1 this season. Were you going to say something?
And I was just going to say,
Yeah.
when we talked about this at the start, I think all of us have said it, like every team marks the Oilers down on their schedule.
Yep.
They want to beat this team,
Yep.
right? Like, they're not going to get an easy game here.
We'll see how they handle it. If they dip their toe in tonight or if they just go get it from the start.
Because you brought up they haven't won in their last 3 in Columbus, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They're not good in Columbus. Like, their record against the Jackets the last couple of years has not been good. 1 win in their last I believe it's
I think.
5.
Yeah.
And then they've lost their last 3 visits to Columbus. All time, the Oilers are 38-18-8 with 3 ties versus Columbus. And then in Columbus, they are 14-12-5 with those 3 ties. They're 6-3-1. The Oilers are in their last 10 games overall against the Jackets. They split the season series last year. All right, Brian Hedger will be joining us from the Columbus Dispatch. He'll give us the scoop on why these Jackets are off to a 500 start, or some people say sub 500 because of the OT loss, but I want to get to some text. You seeing anything you want to get to really quickly before we bring Brian
let
on?
me see. The Liquid Beaver says, don't need Nurse to contribute too much offensively. Just keep playing solid D. And I think I've said that. Like, it's nice when he chips in, but for me, it's in his own zone where he needs to take that next step.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, offensively, it is what it is. If he chips in, fine. But I think he needs to be better in his own. And Penner's Pancake says, Derek Ryan can't play all 82. Would like to see Dermott sent down and Phil brought up to get some games in at 4th line center so they can accrue cap space. I have no issues with Derek Ryan. I think he's been fine.
Yeah, he's been fine. I mean, do you want him playing all 82 games?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably best. You're going to see Phillip at some point. You know, if he continues to play well down on the farm, he could be a guy that's going to get called up at some point in the season. But, I mean, you know, he's got 3 points in 6 games. It's not bad.
How long until you call him up? And, like, when is the right time? Because we're assuming he's the first call up. Should we assume it's automatic, or are there other options like a Savoy?
You never want to call it. You never want to say it's automatic. But at the end of the day, like, he put in a really good showing here at camp.
Yeah, he did.
And he's a guy that would fit in. You know, on the 4th line, he's a bigger body. He's going to be hard to move. He plays with a bit of an edge. You know, he's something that the Oilers need.
Mm-hmm.
They need more of that. And you just don't want it because Ryan's small and Skinner's small and Arvidsson's small. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but there just needs to be a little bit more size. You want them to be harder to play against, harder to move. And Phillip, if he comes in and he can play the way that he kind of showed in camp, well, that's what they need. So
you wanna pull up your lineups? We got official lineups for Columbus
from Mark Sheeg.
Yeah.
All right. So this was from what I had was from the morning skate. So you want to compare it right now, and then we'll get to the Oilers as well because they're on the ice right now for warm up. Okay, so it is a little bit different. Go for it.
No, you go because you got the names down still. I did.
Yeah, but this is okay. I'll go for it. Monahan between Chinikov and Marchenko, so that's different because they had Sillinger on there this morning. Sillinger and Chinikov swapping lines because it's Cole Sillinger with Adam Fantilli and Mikhail Puthia, pardon me. Justin Danforth with Zach Aston Reese and Matthew Olivier. Sean Corrali centering James Van Riemsdyk and Kevin LeBanc. On defense, Provorov with Werenski, Christensen with Severson, Johnson, and Harris. So the one change from this morning is Chinikov and Sillinger swapping lines.
And ZAR and JVR swap lines.
Zach Aston.
No, that's right. Yeah. Never mind.
We got it all figured out.
We got it locked down.
Elvis Merzlikins in goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And then for the Oilers, do we have anything yet?
Nothing yet, surprisingly, but I'll keep searching here. I mean, I don't like if there's anything, it's on the defensive end. So I'm not. I think we're pretty safe with what we gave out earlier.
All right, Brian Hedger coming up from the Columbus Dispatch. It is the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, live on location. Boston Pizza, Westgate, 170th Street, 90th Avenue, right across the street from West Edmonton Mall. Gazzola, Belle, and Salas with you. Joaquin Gage also in-house, so come on down, hang out with the boys. We've got $25 GCs to give away, a ton of great raffle prizes, a bunch of Oilers t-shirts, UFC t-shirts, an Elks home jersey. We're going to have a Chargers jersey to give away, and then the big one is the Bauer winter jacket and pants as well. That was a very popular giveaway last night here at Boston Pizza Westgate. They've got the golf simulator as well. $20 an hour is the rate, best in the city that I've seen thus far. And they also have the kids' Halloween party coming up on Thursday. And at the kids' Halloween party, if you want to bring Evie and young Hendrix, I know that might be a little bit tough because he's just a bebe.
He is a little bebe.
He's just a bebe. But they do have face painting. They have treat bags. They have the fuzzy worm drink. It's going to be great. Book your reservation for, I think, the early part. They said there's some openings, and then from 4:30 to 6, it's a little bit busier and booked up already here at Boston Pizza Westgate. What happened? Did your computer die?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, there's a plug-in right there.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to go diving under the table
While we're live here,
while you're live. Like, excuse me, Tom,
okay.
can you back up for a second?
Yeah, no, go ahead. There's face painting on Thursday. Polka Ghost, first 20 kids 12 and under can Polka Ghost score a special treat bag. And then the Fuzzy Worm Slush, which is raspberry puree, citrus slush, 7-Up topped with whipped cream and strawberry sauce, and a gummy worm on top. A coloring contest as well.
Nice.
You might win that if you,
Yes.
but you're not 12 and under.
No, I'm not. So
Well, you can still
I
try.
love coloring. Though.
Yeah, you're a good colorer. That's Boston Pizza Westgate. Give them a call, 780-481-6822. Some openings and reservations available from 3 to 4:30, 4:30 to 6. Quite a bit busier, but come on down. It's a great spot, and enjoy all of the Halloween festivities. All right, what do we got in the nasty chat? Uncle Jesse, what a fumble by Sillinger. He's talking about Tate McRae.
Oh, boy.
That's her name, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
We'll just leave that one alone.
Maple Jed says the Oilers broke their curse on yesterday playing against rookie/third-string goalies. Columbus curse is next. Well, Cam Talbot and Alex Lyon have been sharing the net for the Red Wings, although the Red Wings had like 8 goalies at camp at one point. Sebastian Cossa is still there. Ville Husso was there. Unfortunately, Jack Campbell had to go into the Players Assistance Program, but he was signed, and he was there at camp. They had a couple of others as well.
So I just got an update. Our guest, Brian Hedger, I guess our lovely producers called him twice, no answer. So maybe
he's good to go.
Oh, he's good to go now?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about that?
I was a little late on the message there, but
I just saw it from Zach to come. All right.
Okay, cool.
Brian Hedger from the Columbus Dispatch joining us now from Nationwide Arena. Brian, we were talking about the lineup that the Jackets are going to throw at the Oilers. What can you tell us about this Columbus team that's gone 3-3-1 so far this season?
Start, actually, especially from the offensive side. I believe it's 27 goals in their first 7 games, something like that. It could be off by a goal or two there, but I know through the first 6 they had 24 goals at 4 goals a game, and that had set a franchise record actually for offensive goal production in the first 6 games of a season. So scoring goals hasn't really been the issue for them. They do need to do a better job of goal prevention, keeping the puck out. But and they're also kind of, I guess, according to Dean Evison this morning at an optional morning skate, there may be a couple of guys who are dealing with some illnesses. They were going to make some game time decisions on a couple of guys, but I just watched lines, the pregame rushes, and it looks like everybody skated. So we'll just see who is the scratch tonight, and we'll go from there. But Elvis Merzlakin's getting back in net. He hasn't started in the past 4 games. Had a little hand injury there. for a couple games, considered minor, and he's back in between the pipes tonight.
Brian Hernan here. What has Dean Evason's impact been on the Blue Jackets since taking over behind the bench?
Well, I mean, how do I put this? I mean, he's a new voice, right? It's a fact, I think he's their fourth head coach in the past 2 years, which is a lot of turnover. But, he's a motivated guy. He's coming off of a job that he had in Minnesota that, he is not afraid to say he didn't think he should have been fired in Minnesota. He's not holding it against, the Wild organization, understands that things, change sometimes. But, for him personally, I think he's got a lot of motivation to make this job work. And, he brings a lot of credibility with him to Columbus. And, I think that has permeated throughout the room. They have put up a new kind of a slogan. Well, it is a slogan. It's painted on a wall inside the locker room now. And it just says, "This is earned, ... not given." So, it's a reminder every single day that, if you're not bringing everything you got, there's a chance you could sit.
Yeah, that's a pretty good message there for sure. How have the newcomers, Sean Monahan, James Van Riemsdyk, Jordan Harris, amalgamated with the team?
Well, start with Monahan. I mean, it was the Johnny Gaudreau tragedy that we dealt with here at the end of August was just, it was heartbreaking and gut-wrenching for everybody here. But when you start, kind of peeling back the layers, Sean Monahan came here as a free agent this summer to play with Johnny Gaudreau, to reunite with his best friend. So from that aspect, it's crushing, and so you wonder, with the season starting as quickly as it did after that happening, how's it going to affect him? And thus far, the Blue Jackets could not ask for anything more from Sean Monahan. He's been dynamite. He's been exactly what they've needed. They lost Boone Jenner in the preseason to what amounts to almost a season-ending injury. I think he's going to be back in 4 or 5 months or so. Probably will catch the end of the season, but you're spending most of the season without your captain, right? Without your best two-way forward type of guy. And Monahan slides right into that role. He's played just a really solid, strong two-way game. He's centering the top line, and they're putting that line back together that they started this year with. And that is Igor Chinnikov on the left wing, Monahan in the middle, and Kirill Marchenko on the right. They were dynamite to start the season, but the problem was the Jackets had so many injuries, they had to break them up for balance, and so what they did is they put Chinnikov on the second line for a couple games, just didn't get with Fantilli, and just didn't get the immediate results they're looking for. So I think what they're doing tonight, according to the line rushes in pregame, is they're gonna reunite the top line, put Chinnikov back with Monahan and Marchenko, and then they're going to move Cole Sillinger to the second line with Adam Fantilli and Michael Pizia from Finland. He's a rookie. So we'll see how it goes.
Brian Hedger joining us now here on the Oil Stream pregame show from the Columbus Dispatch. Brian, you talked about Sean Monahan, how he's kind of adapted and amalgamated dealing with the death of Johnny Gaudreau. As a whole, the organization being given a situation like this, and they're grieving, obviously. The hockey world's grieved as well. How has it been handled? How are things going in terms of that kind of, overshadowing the season, which is a horrible situation, obviously?
Well, it was incredibly, incredibly difficult on this team starting out, obviously. That incident happened it was about 2.5 weeks before camp was opened here in mid-September. So, heavy heart when they opened camp and through much of the first part of camp. But one thing that has been actually a positive for this team is that they're helping each other heal. And they have been doing that ever since camp opened. It is, everybody in this sport loves this sport, passionate about it. And what better than to be with, your NHL brothers, for lack of a better term, right? A couple weeks after disaster strikes, right? So, it's actually helping to boost this team, I feel, as far as, that they're very together. You're going to see a team that they push right to the end. And that number 13 jersey that's hanging in the home locker room is a big reason why.
Brian, Columbus has kind of had some success against the Oilers in the last at least 5 games, especially they're in Columbus. They're 3-0. What kind of game are you expecting between the Jackets and Oilers tonight?
Yeah, I get this question every time I come on the show because it's usually right before this game here in Columbus, and I screw it up every single time. So I have no idea what we're going to see tonight. I think the last 4 or 5 times I've said that I expect the Oilers to win. How could you not when you look on paper, and you see McDavid and Draisaitl and all these guys. However, the Oilers have not won here since 2019, and the Jackets do play them tough here. So I don't know. It could go either way. Like I said, the Jackets are scoring goals this year. I'm sure that may come as a surprise to a lot of people around the league, considering all that they've lost as far as talent and all that. But they're scoring some goals. It could be an exciting one here tonight. Maybe we see a 6-5 game or something.
Hey, bring it on, Brian. Bring it on. Also appreciate you hopping on with us as always. And no more predictions maybe between the Oilers and the Jackets when you join us. Great to hear from you, sir. We'll talk to you again when these two teams lock horns a little bit later on in the season.
All right. Anytime, guys.
Brian Hedger from the Columbus Dispatch. Great stuff from him. I like that. He called himself out, basically.
I think everybody would pick the Oilers when you look at the two rosters, right? So.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely. All right. 780-218-9999. Text us. We have a few more minutes left. Coming up after the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, the final hour of the Reid Wilkins show. I should mention, too, that portions of this hour are brought to you by Hudson's, Canada's Pub. You're invited to watch any Oilers game there. And then they also have $5 house draft with the new Blueberry Blonde Ale. I think that's on game days. And then Wing Wednesday, 49-cent wings. Very good over there. They're just across the street at West Edmonton Mall. And then, of course, White Avenue. That will be our next on location at Hudson's. Is going to be November 21st. Hudson's
nice.
White. Yeah, so that should be good. Super lucky we are to have BP Westgate and then Hudson's White and Bourbon Street allowing us to kind of take over a small section of their bar and restaurants. So go to Hudson's if you're not going to BP's and if you're not coming down here tonight at BP Westgate to join us. Tom Gazzola, Shawn Belle, Hernan Salas, Joaquin Gage over there. Look at that. Joaquin Gage. Just having a nice little time. Are you working? You're not working. You're not working. Quit yelling at us.
That look at disgust
working.
he had on his face.
He did. We have a couple more minutes here to wrap up. I'll see if there's any text to get to or any other nasty chats. Jode says blowout upcoming. Final thoughts from you. I don't think we're going to see a blowout.
I don't know if we'll see a blowout, but you want to see the Oilers put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
Once again, we talked about it earlier in the kind of the 3 points we made. Good start is obviously imperative. You got a team that's going to work, and they're going to consistently work. And you just obviously heard Brian, and he says they give it until the very end.
Scrappy.
So they're scrappy. They're going to make you earn everything, and the Oilers got to make sure that they come out and they're ready to go from the drop of the puck.
Nanso.
Yeah, they've gone 1 win, 1 loss, like you mentioned, through their first 7 games, and they're coming off a loss.
Win, loss, win. OT loss, the last one.
So I just don't want the Oilers to go in this because I feel when they play a lesser team, they go in and they wait 10 minutes to see what kind of game they have to play. Like if it's going to be an easy night, and I think Columbus is going to bring it tonight. And their struggles, the records in the last 3 years there have not been good. So the Oilers better be ready to go in this one. Because if not, we're going to have a spicy post-game show.
Bring it
on.
on.
To Columbus, right?
I can go for a spicy
I don't think there's a blowout either way.
No.
I think it's tight, but I think the Oilers should win this one.
I'm with you guys.
I don't want to see a spicy post-game show.
No.
Well, listen, this is game number 10 for the Oilers. I enjoy a spicy post-game show. I'd rather have a spicy chicken wing over a spicy post-game show because people are mad, but this is something that the Oilers do to the fan base. They frustrate and they frustrate until they totally redeem themselves later on in the season. But I don't know.
What it is.
This is a good chance to, give us a bit of a sense of their identity. Joaquin and I were talking about it on the Oil Stream earlier. They could go 5-4-1. It's not great. It's better than last year. And then maybe it shows us that they're starting to show some signs of
but I mean,
the team we expect.
With the better than last year, like we don't want it to be just better than last year.
Aim low and achieve.
We want it aim small, miss small.
Yeah, exactly. That too.
Well, I mean, sure, but that's what the Oilers of the decade of darkness would think. This team is aiming large, and they want to get back to the dance, and they got to start to have that mentality where we got to go every night.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're ready to go every single night, that's actually going to help you down the road.
They still act like the team that's fighting for a wild card spot when they're beyond that. And we talked about this. I think Belsey joined us earlier in a pregame, in a postgame show, and we said there's no more lessons here.
Yeah,
there's always something you can learn, but like the big ones should be over. Yeah, like these slow starts and dropping games to teams that you shouldn't, like that stuff should be done with this team.
You want the points that are coming right now.
Yes.
You want to go into Columbus and you want those points because at the end of the season, those points could be the difference between being in first place or being in second place in the division.
They talked about wanting home ice advantage for the majority of the playoffs.
You've got to show up and go get it. So you got to win these games.
Yeah.
And teams that have a championship mentality, they don't take days off. They don't take shifts off, and they don't take games off.
Right.
And so that's what you need to see from the others. So this is game 10. After this, to me, it's done. No more talking about the last season and how much it hurt and hangover and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's time to go.
Yeah.
You got 70. You got 72 basically after that. So
away we go.
The way you're supposed to.
All right, the Oilers at 4-4-1. The Columbus Blue Jackets at 3-3-1. Can they go over 500 for the first 10 games of the year? I think that's a great thing. One more time, Boston Pizza Westgate here at 170th Street, 90th Avenue. Lots of great giveaways. If you want to play on the golf sim, $20 an hour. It's absolutely fantastic. You can scan the QR code on the screen if you're watching, and then a ton of giveaways. Belsey showed the Oilers T-shirt. This is the UFC T-shirt. We've got a couple of
Yeah,
you like that one, Nanso? And then we also have
here's another UFC one.
A black UFC T-shirt, couple variations.
XL. Here's the pants.
Pants that go with the
nice navy blue
with the Bauer jacket. And then there's also the Elks jersey there.
Oh yeah.
One more time, we've got a home Elks jersey.
Yeah.
Very nice. That's one of the giveaways tonight. So every time you buy a beverage, you get your raffle ticket. You put it in the fishbowl, and we'll pick winners at the first intermission, second intermission, and right before the end of the game. And then a couple of these hats. Norman at Combine won one of these yesterday. And there's also, according to Tony, going to be a Chargers jersey that we're going to give away as well.
Jersey, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Monday Night Football. If you're on the north side of the city and you want to watch football and hockey, go see Lieutenant Eric over at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. It's going to be a good time over there. And then if you're on the south or west side of the city, come see us, northwest side as well, over here at Boston Pizza Westgate. They have the Halloween party for the kids on Thursday. They've got the fizzy worm drink. That's going to be delicious. No alcohol in that one, but I'm sure you can order it with alcohol if you want to.
I heard you guys talking about that. What's the fizzy worm drink?
The fizzy worm drink
doesn't sound like there's any sugar in it.
Raspberry puree, citrus slush, 7-Up, topped with whipped cream and a strawberry sauce, and then a gummy worm on
Those
top.
kids aren't going to bed.
Put a little vodka in that. Yeah. They'll also have Polka Ghost. The first 20 kids, 12 and under, can Polka Ghost and score a special treat bag, and then face painting and a coloring contest that you can win a kid's gift basket. That is Thursday, Halloween. Dress up, have fun here at Boston Pizza Westgate. If you want to book a table, 780-481-6822. That's again, Boston Pizza Westgate, 170th Street, 90th Avenue on the west side of the city, right across the street from West Edmonton Mall. Big thank you to Brian Hedger for stopping by from the Columbus Dispatch. Hernan Salas, Shawn Belle, Joaquin Gage, live on location here at BP Westgate. Come on down, lots of prizes and giveaways. I've got $25 GCs to give you as well. We'll watch the Oilers and the Jackets as well as Monday Night Football. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Coming up next here on EST, the conclusion and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show with J. Milne and Ice Cube. All right, that's going to do it. We'll see you on the postgame show. Ciao for now.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for two, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
780 is just another lame-ass, low-budget local shop. Homegrown right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 1,000 local vendors from the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Okay, great job by Tom and Hernan and Belzy, and a brief cameo by Joaquin Gage on the Oil Stream pregame show presented by GCL Diesel. They will be back after the game. Oilers and Blue Jackets about to face off in Columbus. We will provide updates between now and 6 o'clock. Reid Wilkins, Jay Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, as this game just getting underway as the Oilers try to win again. This would be 3 in a row. They beat Pittsburgh. They beat Detroit yesterday. The road trip continues Thursday in Nashville, Sunday in Calgary. We will have our keyword for the EST Flyaway to LA presented by the 780, before 6 o'clock, maybe before 5:30, if you want to tune in for that, as we'll qualify somebody else for that big trip to Los Angeles. Jay, I also stumbled across this on the University of Alberta website. This is, look, I'm not going to try to say this is the highest profile program at the U of A, but I think it's worth noting. Here's what it says. We have made the difficult decision to end the U of A's swim program after the 24-25 season. Unfortunately, due to the ongoing financial challenges and complications of not having a competitive swim facility on campus, a swim program is not viable for the U of A at this time. The U of A's current student swim athletes will continue their 24-25 season and complete their competition activities. Then there's some other details as well. That's always tough, I think, when you lose a program in your city and at the school's at the city's biggest post-secondary financial institution that is known for many things, including having generally competitive and very good sports programming. So no more competitive swimming at the U of A. I remember they used to show up when I was doing the U of A basketball at some point during the season. The swim team would usually show up in their swim gear, in what they would swim in, and they would sit in the crowd in their Speedos or swimsuits. They did that for football, I guess.
No, I don't recall that anyhow. You never want to see a team lost from any program. Doesn't matter what school it is. But yeah, I mean, there's costs to these things, and if you're not raising money, if you're not fundraising and getting money in the door, it's not going to be, because that's a big misconception, I believe, with university athletics, is that, the university pays for it. No,
they got to bring in money.
They don't. They have to make money off of this, if not break even. That's why, for a team like the Bears football team, which is a massive team, over 100 athletes on it, they need to work camps all off season. Youth camps, flag camps, just to make ends meet so that they can be competitive in offering scholarship money to student athletes.
All right, so just some breaking news there from the U of A. By the way, if you didn't hear it already, the Golden Bears football season ended on Friday. Another blown lead. They were up 21-4 in the second half against Regina. Regina won 29-22. The Bears needed to win that and have SAS beat Calgary to make the playoffs, so a season full of promise for the Golden Bears football team. Talked about as maybe Vanier Cup contenders. They don't even make the Canada West playoffs. U of A Golden Bears hockey team split in UBC, so they are still 7-1 on the season, and we'll talk more U of A hockey later on in the week. Yes, the Oilers about to face off in Columbus. They're doing the anthem right now. Again, we will provide periodic updates, if you want to keep apprised of what's going on in that game.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. You'd have a siren go off or something. Yes. Do we need to say spoiler? Like, should it shock people that we're going to talk about a local sports team on a sports show? Hopefully not.
I don't think you should be shocked.
No.
To say the least. If you're listening to Edmonton sports talk during an Oiler game, there's a high likelihood that people on the air might talk about sports.
We are going to bring you, and we're going to have some fun here with Fired Up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. I don't know if I'm going to top your Fired Up from Friday when you were fired up about the gentleman who was unhappy. He couldn't He couldn't get a ceramic mug or a regular
paper cup poison.
He didn't want the paper cup.
It's poisonous.
He said it was poisonous. My Fired Up is a little different. It is sports related, and you know what, Jay? I am fired up, even though the Elks aren't in it. And by the way, we're going to have an extensive recap of the Elks postseason media availability that I went to earlier today. I am fired up for cold weather playoff football.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I know it's funny. Like now, Winnipeg has kind of become the villain in the CFL, and that's what happens when you keep winning and beating teams. So everybody on Saturday was like, even God wants Winnipeg to win. But I was watching that, and I thought, what great theater is this? You know, Winnipeg and Montreal, the teams that were in the Grey Cup last year, and you know, certainly, I think even if Winnipeg would have lost that game, maybe favored to play for it again, Winnipeg has to win to get home field. Saskatchewan is sitting there watching that game, hoping Montreal wins so Saskatchewan can beat Calgary and get home field. And Winnipeg tries a low percentage field goal from Castillo that is well short. Montreal has to punt, and it was interesting listening to the commentator because you kind of saw a few leaves blow through the screen, and then they said, wow, has the wind ever kicked up here? And I was thinking, okay, 4 leaves. And then all of a sudden, it was like, oh my God. And they're like, oh, and now it's also right. Like in the matter of 14 seconds from completely calm to this gale, this fairly strong wind favoring Winnipeg.
I was here. The hand of God. They said.
Yes, the hand of God, and the punter, kind of shanks it a
30
bit,
yards, yeah,
and it goes out of bounds, and then of course Winnipeg takes care of business and kicks the field goal. But it just led me. We got a big collision there. The Oilers are going to get called for goalie interference. It just made me think of these cold weather games in the CFL, and when you get to this time of year, it's getting dark early. I think we moved the clocks back on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess the games are on Saturday, but when it used to be a perennial thing that the Elks/Esks would host either the West Semi or the West Final, and I went to a lot of those. At 2 or 2:30 kickoff, it's pretty much dark by the start of the fourth quarter, and there's a bite in the air. And I also remember. I know the fluty fumble kind of ruins this memory for Edmonton fans, but the snowy Grey Cup in Winnipeg in '96, or that classic 94 West Final when BC upset Calgary, when Ray Alexander blocked the Calgary field goal, and then they drove down and McManus found Darren Flutie in the end zone, and there was a blizzard for that one. And it's just these. Of course, the teams got to battle each other, and now it's what are the elements going to be? And it's kind of the great equalizer. I know maybe some fans will say, well, that only helps the weaker team, or it helps the underdog. And I was like, yeah, okay, maybe it does help the underdog, but it just adds another element to the game. And of all my years watching CFL football, as we have a Columbus power play goal 2:18 into the game, of all my years watching CFL football, of course I've seen wind, but I've never seen wind kick up like that and blatantly help what team win the game and the circumstances. I mean, where would you sooner play the West Final if you're the Bombers?
Right.
Winnipeg. I mean, if Winnipeg would have had to beat BC first of all, but man, oh man, to have that at home and for the Riders to not get it in Regina. So I am fired up, courtesy of Gemco, just for some perhaps inclement weather CFL playoff football. And it'd have to be before the Grey Cup because it's in a dome.
I'm looking at it, Reid, and it doesn't look promising. It's going to be cold in Saskatchewan on Saturday. Might dip down to -4, but I don't see any rogue blizzards coming through, which I think is what we all want, because
Right.
that also has an element of Canadiana to it, and I am excited to see. Now, we were talking about this during the break, while we were listening to the Oilers pregame show, the GCL Diesel pregame show, and I gave you who's going to win the Grey Cup. And I feel really good about it.
I think you should save this for later in the week.
Okay.
When we do predictions.
Sure.
Okay. I think you got to save it.
I will. And just going back to Maddie chimed into the nasty chat, and because him and I were talking about this. Remember after the show on Friday, I had to whip over to Century Casino, right?
Yes.
To do the Elks pregame or the kickoff show. So I was telling him about it. And the funny thing is that I really didn't mention on that time about Paper Cup Guy was that they literally took his coffee that was in a paper cup and poured it into a mug right in front of him and that was good enough for him.
He just didn't want to put his lips on the paper cup.
I guess. But if there was any thought of anything rubbing off with the hot liquid that was in this paper cup, well, buddy, I got news for you. It is now in your coffee.
Right.
So, yeah. There's crazy people everywhere, Reid. It's okay. It happens.
Sean Monahan, power play goal for Columbus early in the game. We're about 3.5 minutes in now as the Oilers look for another victory here, but they're coming from behind against Columbus. Yeah, I just it's another element, right? And I'm not saying there aren't bad weather games in the NFL, because of course there are, but it's less likely there's going to be a bad weather game. And then, I think it's rained once during a Super Bowl when it's been outside. It doesn't happen very often. No, the Grey Cup is in Vancouver, so that one's going to be good. But it's just that extra element, who has the wind in the fourth quarter? What do you do with the coin toss? Do you want possession of the ball? All that kind of stuff. How good is your kicker? How good is your kicker managing the wind? And then, how good? I mean, Doug Flutie at first was kind of criticized. Oh, he can't handle the cold weather, right? He's got to wear a glove. He fumbles a lot. So it's just a fun time of year to get into these elimination games and see the rivalries build and all that stuff.
Yeah, and the cold weather though does add something to it.
Oh, big time. What was the worst weather you ever played in? Do you remember?
It would have been rain. It was actually against the Edmonton Huskies at Johnny Bright Bowl on the West End. It was a monsoon. It was the kind where after you'd score a touchdown, you'd go in the end zone and slide through it on your stomach like an airplane. I remember a guy I was playing with, Steve Boyko. He was a halfback on the Wildcats. He picked off a throw from the Huskies and took it back for a touchdown. And he sat in the rain and put his hands up and threw the ball back and did this.
Did this throat slash?
Slit your throat.
Right.
Now, this is probably the most shy guy you've ever met in your life. He would never do anything to harm anyone, but he was feeling it that night. That was a big play, and he did the slit your throat. I think you'd get a penalty for that.
Yeah, you do get a penalty for that. Zach Hyman, partial breakaway, goes to the backhand. Denied. Can't find one yet, but the Oilers with a couple of decent chances here against the Blue Jackets. It is time for the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780, a homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Online, 780.com, so that's the word 7, numbers 80.com. 5 locations, Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. So we're qualifying 4 people per day, plus somebody on Saturdays during Hello Hockey. This goes until November 28th. We give the trip away on the morning show, Dustin Show, on the 29th. And here are the details. December 26th through the 30th, you get a flight for 2 to Los Angeles with a hotel, with a rental car.
With the hotel?
Yes.
Wow.
You can drive your rental car right into your hotel suite. You get tickets to see the Clippers play the Warriors, the Rams play the Cardinals, and you'll see Edmonton play either Anaheim or Los Angeles in the National Hockey League. You have to text in this keyword to 780-218-9999, and we'll pick a qualifier. Today, actually, I guess not a keyword, but an abbreviation. MLB.
Can you spell that?
MLB.
Thank you.
is the keyword for the 780 flyaway to LA. Oilers down 1-0, 6.5 minutes into the first period in Columbus. We're going to have buying or selling courtesy of Damon Bunting, and we'll give you a recap of some of the key comments from Commonwealth Stadium today as the Elks did their, garbage bag day, but we didn't go into the dressing room and see the garbage bags. Portions of this hour, of course, presented by Canadian Brewhouse. UFC 309 coming up. UFC lives at the Canadian Brewhouse with the most TVs and big screens, great food and drinks, and the perfect party atmosphere. There's no better way to experience UFC 309 on November 16th. See you at the Brew. Here comes Zach Kubish with a sports update.
Changing 500. It's the Oilers and the Blue Jackets midway through the first, with the Blue Jackets leading the Oilers 1-0 on a power play goal. Out in Buffalo, the Sabres are battling the Panthers with that game scoreless in the first, and within the hour, the Maple Leafs have puck drop against the Jets, while the Lightning take on Steven Stamkos and the Predators. In the CFL, 3 American players have been re-signed by the Elks, with Arkell Smith, Jordan Strachan, and Jalen Green re-upping with the squad. We got the Giants kicking off against the Steelers for Monday Night Football action, where you could join Lieutenant Eric on Fort Road, hanging out at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for the game. In basketball, the Raptors meet the Nuggets, with the Suns and Lakers out on the court as well. Underway right now, the Pacers and the Magic, with under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Magic lead the Pacers 15-13. And from the Big Apple, the Yankees seek their first win against the Dodgers in Game 3 of the World Series. This sports update has been brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. Just after the break, the Reid Wilkins Show continues. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
UFC lives at the Canadian Brew House with the most TVs, great food and drinks, and the perfect party atmosphere. There's no better way to experience UFC 309 on November 16th. See.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai. Park Mazda, your dealer for life insurance.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
All right, just keeping an eye on things here. Connor McDavid has not been on the ice for the Oilers since his first shift of the game. Apparently, he is not on the bench. Sportsnet just showed a highlight. He was going down the right wing boards and was kind of
tripped,
but nothing super violent or kind of. It didn't look suspicious to me. Kind of the way a hockey player might fall or get taken down numerous times in a game, at least from what I saw. Just the one look. So we'll keep an eye on this. I mean, it could be something minor or whatever, but obviously if you haven't seen McDavid, there's 11 minutes left in the first period, so you haven't seen him for about 6 or 7 minutes. Obviously that's significant, but we were just waiting to see if there's anything else or if he comes back, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. But at the moment, Connor McDavid appears to be out of action for the Oilers, and we'll see what happens here as the period moves along. 10:55 left in the first, and 1-0 the Blue Jackets leading the Oilers on a goal by Shawn Monahan. just taking a look at McDavid after he was down, puck was in the Columbus, and he kind of grimaces as he's skating to back check, holds his left foot off the ice a little bit, and then goes sort of gingerly onto the bench. I mean, we're not talking about a guy who looked like he was, limping or having trouble walking or moving, but I guess it looked kind of like something that was tweaked, perhaps. What did you think, Jay?
Yeah, just looking at that replay of him skating back, it seems like something's uncomfortable with his left foot. Whether he's, like you say, a tweak or some sort of a ankle issue, hard to say from that. But
yeah, and there was such a quick shot, and again, it's not as if he lifted it up off the ice, but then he went onto the bench. He stepped on it. He walked on it. So it's tough to say. But clearly, when that player has to miss some time, even if it's just a few shifts here, that's significant for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll see if we get any further updates on that as we are with you here until 6 o'clock. Reid Wilkins, Jay Milne, Reid Wilkins Show on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. We're going to talk to our qualifier shortly here for our EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780. We do have buying or selling, courtesy Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out at damonbunting.com or on Instagram. His handle is Damon Bunting Real Estate. So I went to the Elks year-end media availabilities today. Rick LeLacheur spoke. Again, the headline from Rick is... they sound like they're very close to hiring a president, down to a very, very short list as the Blue Jackets go up 2-0. I said it last week. Weird things have been happening in this building lately for the Oilers, and not good things. The stupid cannon's going off again. McDavid's out of the... they lost the game 6-4 or 6-5 a couple of years ago when they were down, and they caught up. This has not been a good stop lately for the Oilers, even though the Blue Jackets haven't been a great team. So it sounds like they'll have a president very soon. Rick said they want to have a president, GM, and coach, and they'll do the hiring in that order by the Grey Cup. The league generally asks its teams not to announce anything about 10 days before the Grey Cup. Don't announce any news. Keep it all about the division finals and the two teams in the Grey Cup. Jarius Jackson and G. Roy Simon are interim in their jobs. Okay? I think there's a key position on the team where you might say there's interim players because we don't know what's going to happen with the futures of some of these guys, which we will talk about. So buying or selling, Jay? Are you confident in the Elks' future in terms of them being able to, they went from 4 wins to 7 wins, improve at that rate again next season?
It depends. It depends what they do with the offseason. Obviously the sexy talk or the sexy subject would be, what do they do with Trey Ford? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care. That's not going to, and I'll tell you why. Trey Ford's not going to make or break this team next year. There's bigger issues. There's bigger fish to fry than having Trey Ford on or off the team, a.k.a. the defensive line. They need desperate help with defensive line. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they can do that through free agency. They've got Tevin Jones, Eugene Lewis, Hergy Mayala, and all free agents. I'd like to see at least 2 of those back.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I think Eugene Lewis is going to demand more money than is the juice worth the squeeze, so to speak.
Well, he even said in his availability today that he's the highest paid receiver in the league.
Okay,
which means you should be the best receiver in the league and easily the best receiver on your team. Like obviously the best receiver on the team.
And I would say
to me, he was not that.
He was not standalone as, oh, wow, he has to be included in the talk of being the best. He wasn't even the best on this team. Now, that being said, I believe the wide receiver talent on this team was one of its deeper positions. Javon Leake, what do you do there? Because now that Justin Rankin's re-signed, I would like to see Javon Leake back because I think they found a way to use him that exploits his dynamic play style. I just put the D-line can all go.
Well, they need a sack master. They need a rush hand or
presence.
something.
They need somebody that can create pressure without having to blitz.
Yeah.
Somebody that can challenge an offensive tackle on the outside. They just didn't have it. Now, Niles Morgan, I don't know how this is going to shape up because he's also a free agent. I don't know how much he's going to ask for. But they do have Joel DeBlanco waiting in the wings that could slide into that position, amongst others as well. But he's a big name on defense, and so is Luchez Purifoy. So, it just depends how this team comes together.
Niles Morgan has a daughter with an Edmonton woman.
Okay.
So maybe that helps, but excellent player.
It might be what it takes to keep him here because obviously that's a player you want to keep here. But think of last year. They gave all this money to McLeod Bethel Thompson. Instead of spreading it out and raising the level of compete on different positions, they put it all into one player, and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of questions, but am I confident? I want to hear who the president is first before I can accurately answer that.
All right, we'll get to some clips here from Ford, G-Roy, Jerry's Jackson, McLeod Bethel Thompson. We do have our qualifier for the EST flyaway to LA. Andrew is on the line. Andrew, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing? Yeah, sorry, we lost you there for a second. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. You ever been to Los Angeles? You ever been to Los Angeles?
Sorry, you cut out there.
Oh, we're just wondering if you've ever been to Los Angeles before. Okay, I don't think we're getting this sack, so we'll just congratulate Andrew and move on. But Andrew's the latest qualifier in our Flyway to LA presented by the 780. And we do have some breaking news. The Oilers just announcing Connor McDavid will not return to the game tonight with a lower body issue. So significant enough that he's not going to play. This game's a disaster. Columbus just went up 3-0. What did I say? What did I say? I said weird things happen in this building. I was saying it last week, usually not on air because I try not to be too pessimistic on air. This hasn't been a great stop lately for the Oilers. The stupid cannon goes off all the time. So now McDavid is hurt. When I did my before the season, you asked me to predict every game this month because I thought they'd only win 4 or 5 games in October. I haven't been right on all of them, but I said this game would be a loss. A month ago, I said this game would be a loss. And you were like, Columbus? I said yes. Stupid things happen in that building. So you got McDavid hurt on the first shift. You got Columbus scoring 3 goals on 6 shots in less than 15 minutes. The Oilers will not come back tonight without McDavid. This is a disaster.
Tough look, and they are just fighting it. They can't get out of their own zone. They've been pinned in for, there's 5 minutes left in the first period. I'd say 10 of those minutes have been in their own zone.
They had a couple close calls. They had the one puck that went to the net and kind of was a tricky save for the goalie, and obviously had Hyman had the partial breakaway on the back end and didn't score.
Was that last goal tipped in, or was it just a lame duck, a wobbly puck?
I'd have to see it again. Yeah, I don't. I'm just watching on my laptop.
I mean, that's 2 goals right now that Stu Skinner should have probably been able to save.
Well, it's just all around bad. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that'll happen.
And now, I mean, this is, if McDavid leaves the ice and like immediately they say he's not coming back, then you have to wonder, okay, how serious is this? How long is this going to... Now, again, he went off the ice under his own steam. He grimaced. You and I saw it. He grimaced, lifted up his... Was it left? Now I can't remember if it was his left foot or his right foot. But he lifted up kind of one of his feet and coasted for a while. But then when he went to the bench, he appeared to be putting weight on both feet. And then you don't see him again, right? So, yeah, he goes down. This is early in the game. He's going down the right side. Where's the stick? Yeah, a Columbus player, as McDavid goes by him, reaches for the puck and hits McDavid's, it appeared to hit his right skate, and down he goes. And then he was behind the Columbus net, kind of got up and skated back-to-back check and clearly didn't like how something felt and went off the ice.
I'm behind you, so I can't see exactly this replay of what happened.
Well, I just found that on YouTube.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Or on Twitter, sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd like to see it again, the video of him going off the ice, which I'm having trouble finding, but we'll obviously it'll be replayed several times, I'm sure, at some point. But so that's all we can tell you. McDavid's out of the game, and the Oilers are getting routed early against the Blue Jackets. We'll see if so much for the team on the back-to-back coming out with more energy like Detroit did yesterday. Not the case for the Oilers today. It's going bad in Columbus. So here's what's happened recently between these two teams. And as I mentioned, I shouldn't make it sound like I'm often right because I'm not, but this game between these two teams. So last year in Columbus on March 7th, the Blue Jackets won 4-2. They played in Columbus in February of 2023. Columbus won 6-5. I believe that was a game Columbus was up 4-0 and the Oilers tied it. In Columbus in April of 2022, that was a horrible game for the Oilers. They lost that one 5-2. Now, prior to that, the Oilers had a bit of a streak against the Blue Jackets, but the old cannon has been going off way too much for Oilers fans' liking. Don't want to speculate too much on the injury. Just the Oilers have said lower body won't be back tonight.
Okay, so I'm rewatching this, Reid. When he goes into the boards, his left knee gets folded in underneath him and put in a very compromising position. If I was a betting man, I would say there's something to be said about his left knee. Not serious enough, but something tweaked. That is what I would say.
Yeah, maybe just the way it hit the boards, or like you said, you got a little bit compressed, or the way it twisted or something when he went down.
Nonetheless, not the start you want. With Connor, without Connor.
It's been bad. 3-0 for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Are you confident in the Elks' future?
No, I'm not.
Why?
Well, just because of uncertainty. And if there's uncertainty, I can't say that I'm confident in it. Now, that doesn't mean I'm pessimistic about it. I do think that they have some pretty good players. I think Morgan and Anderson are both excellent. I think they found something in Rankin, and maybe Rankin and Leak, for example, could be complementary to each other. I think they have a decent O-line. I think the receivers probably a strength of the team.
They have one of the best O-lines in football.
Secondary was very up and down, and the D-line. I am a big. You got to have a pass rusher in the CFL.
Yes,
because if you get a sack, the other team's probably not getting a touchdown on that drive. I remember. I think it was might have been Cavis Reed like years ago that if a team gets a sack, it was something like 93% the offense doesn't score a touchdown on that drive. They might get a field goal. I mean, especially if the sack is already in field goal range, but they don't get a touchdown on that drive. But I have to see who is hired and what kind of moves they make. And this is what I've been saying, hire good employees, hire excellent employees, and then keep them. Look at the Bombers. They've changed some players, but they've kept, Kolaros and Jefferson and a lot of O-line. Some are retiring now, but Lawler's been there except for the 1 year. Like on and on we go, right? Find the right employees and keep them. And the Elks, for the most part, haven't done that. Couple things. It's shocking to me. Yeah, Oilers are going to get a 2-man. Oh, that's McDavid going down. Zach's got it here. I'd love to get the video of him going off the ice. If you're watching on YouTube,
it'll
courtesy
play.
Of Sportsnet
It'll
here.
Continue, I think. No, it doesn't.
No, it stops.
Okay.
It doesn't show him leaving the ice, but there's the takedown. The Oilers are going to go on a 2-man advantage here for about 40 seconds. And I know I've said this before. Shocking what a poor job Chris Jones did. Now, maybe it was too much to be GM, coach, and defensive coordinator. But Jarius Jackson, again, today alluded to something he said on this show, and he said at other times that, the phrase he used today was we had to stop playing the game during the week and make sure that our players were mentally and physically ready for game days, which leads me to believe for whatever reason, Chris Jones just couldn't run a practice that was conducive to having his team ready to go on the weekend. Like he was basically expending guys, 2-3 days before the game. And then you wonder about all those games they lost in the fourth quarter early that ultimately kept them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it must have been pretty awful in that locker room. It seemed like, for at least what G-Roy said, that there was not really much rhyme or reason to a practice day.
Let's get to a couple clips here that I think people will want to hear. Zach, I might change the order here because we're tight for time, but I want to do the Trey Ford one that we were going to do first anyway. I asked Trey Ford, is Edmonton the place for you to be a number one quarterback in the CFL?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, right? It's not my call, right? It's got to see how the cards fall and see, talk to my agent and see what everybody's saying and go from there.
That's it. That's all he said.
Yeah, doesn't sound all that promising, to be honest. And really, I mean, it's free agency. He's going to have to test the waters. I'm just, from what I understand, who's going to step up and pony up and pay him like a starting quarterback if he's unproven? Now, did the Elks offer him that opportunity? No, they kind of wasted this season with him. But still, I don't think another team's going to step up and just hand him a bag of money.
Let's just do the number 2 G-Roy clip, Coob, as well. G-Roy Simon, the interim GM, on the future of Trey Ford.
I won't comment on it. I think Trey did a good job when he got the opportunity. He still's got some ways to go, but that's the whole organization. So I think in this situation we have to look at at all the quarterbacks across the league that are going to be free agents and be available and make a decision. But Trey is definitely a player that we'd like to have because he's young, he's talented, and at some point he can be a Grey Cup winning quarterback.
Okay. I think we see here that G-Roy Simon and Jarius Jackson don't see Trey Ford as a number one quarterback in the CFL. We've debated this with the Nasties ever since we came on the air, so we won't go too much down the road. But it would seem to me that if Jackson and G-Roy are back, or maybe one is back, that if they want Trey Ford on the team, they don't want him as the number one starting quarterback.
Well, and I mean, think of what was just said. He just said in an interview that they're going to have to look through the rest of the free agents in the CFL.
Right.
To see who's available.
Right.
That means you don't have a starting quarterback right now. So if you do, you would never say that. You would never say that.
So that's why I'm selling on being confident in the future of the Elks in terms of how they are on the field, because they don't have a coach, they don't have a GM, and they don't have a quarterback. If they'd gone 7-11 and were really in it down to the wire and had won more close games than they lost and were returning everybody in key positions, that would be different. But all I'm hearing right now is question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark at some very key positions. So I can't say, oh yeah, so like 4-14, 7-11, now they're going to be 10-8 next year, or 11-7. They might get a home game. I can't say that right now. All right.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I just feel like there are quarterbacks that are available. Vernon Adams Jr., one of them.
Yep.
Big time free agent.
Okay.
Whether or not Trey wants to stay as a backup, to be determined.
We're probably going to have Jed on tomorrow, and he can weigh in more on this for sure. All right, we are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. My top 3 for Food Sausage. If you missed it, McDavid out of the game with a lower body injury, and the Oilers trail Columbus 3-0 late in the first period. Here's the Coob with the sports update.
Connor McDavid will not return for the Edmonton Oilers in their game, exiting the action with a lower body injury. Right now, the Blue Jackets hold the Edmonton Oilers 3-0 in that one near the end of the first, while the Panthers are up on the Sabres 2-0 near the end of 20 minutes. With puck drop in just moments ago, it's Steven Stamkos and the Nashville Predators taking on his old Tampa Bay Lightning. And we also see the Maple Leafs facing the Jets, and later it's the Flames playing the Golden Knights before the Blackhawks meet the Avs. Monday Night Football has the Giants kicking off against the Steelers with Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for 6:15 kickoff. Over in basketball, it's the Raptors and Nuggets with the Bucks taking on the Celtics and the Lakers against the Sun for 11 total games on tap. And right now, the Pacers hold a tight lead over the Magic at the end of the first quarter, with the Wizards and Hawks just getting underway. And for the World Series, it'll be the Dodgers against the Yankees, with the Dodgers holding a 2-0 lead over New York. This sports update has been brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payments for 18 months, interest-free. Sit and Sleep. Find them beside Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common, or check them out online at sitandsleep.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show comes back just after these messages. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Oh, happy Monday. Hope you had a great day. Oil Country, not happy. McDavid, injured on the first shift, will not return with a lower body injury. Let's take a look at his reaction here going off the ice. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. We'll describe it for those of you listening on the stream. 3-0 Columbus now after one. The Oilers did not score on the two-man advantage and, in fact, took a penalty while they were on the power play to decrease the amount of power play time they had. So McDavid behind the icing line, behind the net after he got up, and he starts to skate back up ice, and all of a sudden winces, holds his left skate in the air as he glides to the bench, stops normally, and then steps into the bench on his left leg first. So who knows? But it was his left foot he held in the air as he glided kind of from the top of the slot in the Columbus zone to his bench, and then it left. It was the first leg he stepped off when he went. So maybe it is a knee
something
thing.
to do with that collision against the board.
Yeah,
100%. Now it could be. Look, Connor, we're down 2-0. We're getting railroaded out there.
No, I don't think it would be that. He would want to play. He would want to play.
But I mean, if it's something at all where, well, we got to do some more testing on this. Let's go back, take your pads off, and then by the time he got back and took the pads off, and it's 3-0. Well, what are we doing? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would think if he could play, they must be concerned about something. I don't think the score would affect it. I would think he would want to play. I think it's serious enough that
it would come into play for sure. It would come into play. If it's at all, listen, if this was a playoff game, he'd come back in. This is the
we don't know how bad it is, right? But
yeah. judging by how he left the ice, doesn't seem like it's terribly threatening.
Well, I hope not.
But
he was mobile going off the ice. It's not as if he couldn't skate or couldn't walk or needed a stretcher. So hopefully it is something that...
A lot of this thing, they want to see how this swells, what's happening in that, where the injury is.
Right. So anyway, that's really the big... I mean, the Oilers being down through... Probably the bigger story than the Oilers getting throttled in the first period, though they did wind up out shooting the Blue Jackets, I think 11-6. But the bigger story is McDavid out, so we will keep an eye on that for you. I doubt we'd get any further update till possibly from Knobloch after the game. So please tune into the Oil Stream post-game show with Tom and Hernan and Belzy, because this will be certainly one of the huge, well, probably the hugest topic of discussion. Every day I give my top 3 for Fuge sausage. The best sausages you will ever eat, locally made and packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street, and take advantage of their EST discount. That's right, 10% off your order by entering the online code EST or just mention EST in store. Do you have one today?
Mice.
It's mice. Okay, so a mouse ordering from a human?
No, mice ordering from mice.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be the customer.
Okay. I don't know how a mouse sounds.
10%.
All right, that's mouse talk. Also, free delivery to your mouse hole in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sauces says, you can't beat our meat. I did not expect that, and I did not know how to make a mouse. I haven't spoken with mice enough.
Oh, we talk all the time.
That's hilarious. Okay, so we're doing sort of scary stuff, Halloween stuff for the top 3 and for the off-topic topic. The off-topic topic was most inappropriate Halloween costume you've seen someone wear at work. We didn't get a lot, but we got some real good ones. Certainly somebody who said there was pajama day at work. I guess that wasn't Halloween, but apparently a young woman perhaps wore pajamas that she shouldn't have worn in public.
Which is so weird.
And I love the listener in the nasty chat who said that there was a woman dressed as a dairy cow with some very anatomically correct cow parts that were quite distracting in a meeting. All right. So here are my top 3 scary things to hear at work. Hey, guys, I'm Taylor Cornelius. I'm your new quarterback.
Oh, my
Too
gosh.
soon? Too soon?
No, I'm here.
Sorry.
I'm here for Taylor Cornelius jokes.
It wasn't his fault, quite
Yeah, it
frankly. I mean, a lot of it was,
He got people's hands confused with their
he's
feet.
going to be associated with, unfortunately, some very poor play.
Throwing the ball into the dirt?
Left-handed?
Yes.
Or tried to throw left-handed while getting sacked? All right. Here's another one. I'll use you as the person I'm talking to. Oh, hey, good morning, Jay. Hey, can you just pop into my office for a second? No, don't bother taking your jacket off. Just come in.
Oh, man. That's terrifying.
Unfortunately, that's never happened to me. I have seen it happen to my
You have?
colleagues.
No.
Well, I've heard, there was one day a colleague was getting let go, but I can't remember exactly what happened. But she wasn't given an assignment and was told not to start doing any work on her computer. But I think the boss who had to do it had not been given the go-ahead to do it. Like, he knew it was going to be her, but he couldn't do it till 11, and she was there at 10. So he kind of had to just tell her to sit there and avoid her. And then there was stuff going around that other people in the building and the company were being laid off. And she was like, I think she came and talked to me. She's like, I think I'm getting laid off. I was like, well, they would have done it by now. And she's like, no, this is what. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's really
Oh, it turns
weird.
out I was wrong, dear.
Yeah, and then she was unfortunately let go. So it's not always done gracefully.
No.
Unfortunately. Usually it's, the boss is waiting for you when this situation, like, oh, hey, you're here. Let's just pop into this room here right by the door so we don't take you up.
Don't take
so
your jacket off.
You're not into the newsroom. You're not around other employees. I don't know what happens in other workplaces, but
yeah, don't worry about taking your jacket off. Oh,
and it's interesting though, from having known a lot of people over the years, and I'm sure people in other industries this happens. So I'm sure people in the nasty chat and listening or watching have had it happen to them or have seen colleagues. It seems like some companies it's never pleasant, some companies from a management level do it more gracefully than others. And it is interesting having known people who have seen that happen. Like I've seen some people who have been despondent, and other people like you check in with them and they're just like, you know what, best thing that's ever happened to me. Or I was thinking about leaving anyway. Or well, what am I going to do? Cry about it? Like,
well, that's it. Of course, you were thinking of leaving anyways because now you don't have a choice.
Well, that's true. I
guess
you could just say that. But anyway, that's my my second top 3 scariest thing to hear at work. You walk in. Oh, hey, good morning, Jay. Hey, why don't you pop into my office for a second? No, don't just leave your jacket on. Yeah, no, you don't have to drop your bag off. Just come in.
Brutal.
Just come in. Yeah. Did you leave your car running? And I kind of there's a lot of ways I could have gone with this. I didn't want to go too dark on all of them. So another scary thing to hear at work. Hey, guys, remember, the cake in the fridge is for Jerry's retirement. and you already helped yourself. Maybe you and a colleague have taken a couple. Jerry's going to come out for his retirement party, and they're going to unveil the cake, and it's going to be, apparently someone thought this was just cake anybody could have.
You know, that's weird because if there's anything in the fridge, you know, that is not yours, I would never touch it.
Yeah. I guess that's not scary so much, but it's just a bit of a faux. Well, it is kind of scary. Like if you like Jerry and he's having a retirement party, and you just thought the cake was a community cake, but no, they wanted the cake all in one piece to give to Jerry, and he's going to cut up and
you got to have some nerve if you're taking the first piece of the community cake. You know, maybe.
Well, wouldn't you usually check?
Wouldn't you just usually abstain?
Like I do. I had in a workplace, I won't see which station I was at over the years, but there was somebody who would just go in other people's lunches.
Come on.
Yes, I'm serious. They would just think, oh, there's 5 lunch bags in the fridge or whatever. What's in this one? Oh, I'll take the apple. Oh, this person has a handy sandwich. Oh, I'll just take half of it. Yes.
I did. This is a true story back in the furniture days. Now, this was a while ago. We had somebody that worked there that we had this really good like Vietnamese place right in the building, and they made the best Singapore noodles.
Okay.
The best. And I went in there. The kitchen door was open a bit. I was with the customer, but I could see into the kitchen and see this employee, and he was grabbing some of the food, my noodles, out of the container.
No way. What did you say?
I didn't have the nerve to say anything because I was so young.
Oh, you didn't say, oh, hey, that's my lunch, I think.
No, I just went in there and grabbed it.
Oh, okay.
And, nothing was said. I just thought, you animal. What kind of animal are you?
See, I guess for you and me, we both have allergies. So there's some risk. And so I've never even considered, I'll just take somebody else's lunch.
No.
But I feel like as a human, I mean, you even see me around the office. Even sometimes you'll offer me something, and I'll be like, I don't know, Jay, didn't you make that for yourself? Or what are your kids going to eat if I eat all this? But so I've never gotten that. I mean, that could be a Halloween. That's a scary person that maybe isn't terrifying, but the guy or gal at the office that just eats food.
That's a psychopath.
That's like, why? Like how?
Yeah.
Now, if you're that hungry, then maybe we need to look into your health or your spending habits if you really can't have your own food at work. But if you actually think, if it's in the fridge, even if it's in someone else's lunch bag, anything in the fridge is community property. That's flawed thinking.
So just an update here. The EST draft of scary things happened this morning. Myself, Handsome Tom, Lieutenant Eric, and YouTube Trev filling in for Dustin Nielsen. Did you hear what he did to YouTube Trev?
I've heard things that he did. I don't know what you're going to refer to.
He texted into, he posted on the Nasty Chat how awful Trev was doing.
Oh, Dustin did?
During the draft.
I didn't see that.
I think he did fine. I voted for him.
I thought Trev did really good.
I voted for Jay.
I mean, currently, Trev is sitting, he's sitting in third.
Yeah, that saves a relegation spot for Dustin Nielsen. He should be happy about that. I don't know what happened since, but
you're darn right.
Grinds my gears.
See, Sarah gets where I was going. She's like, Jerry's cake is missing a few slices. Yeah. She says my entire lunch was stolen and my bubbly water from the staff fridge.
I just can't believe that Dustin, from his bed, essentially was tongue lashing poor YouTube Trev,
who had to jump in with no prep at
who
all.
had to take the seat with nothing, no
Right.
prep. And, thankfully this was a draft where you could get away with almost no prep if you had to. But if you haven't checked it out, the list is up on the Edmonton Sports Talk Twitter page. Go in there and vote. Things are looking good.
Portions of this hour presented by the Canadian Brew House. NHL lives at the Canadian Brew House every Oilers game day. Get $1 off tankards. You may need a few tankers with the McDavid injury of Molson Light and Coors Light. You can win game ticks and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. So McDavid out tonight with a lower body injury. He was hurt on his first shift of the game. We do not have any other details at the moment. Post-game show coming up after the game. They will have much to discuss. We'll see if Knobloch gives any more information on McDavid's health. Coob, great work today, buddy. Got the handle going back and forth between the shows. You did a great job. Milner, you did awesome as well, buddy. It's great to see
Thanks,
you.
Reid. Good to see you, too.
We will have a local boxer who has won a world championship belt. Or do we have Jed? Maybe Jed tomorrow? Hopefully
No,
Jed.
Jed's not available tomorrow.
Okay.
He did get back
We'll get
to me.
Jed later on in the
Yeah.
week. But who knows where else we'll go. Another fun one, guys. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
A&W has a deal for you. What's better than one A&W Mama Burger made with a perfectly seasoned grass-fed beef patty topped with pickles, a slice of onion, ketchup, mustard, and teen sauce served on a toasted sesame seed bun? 2 Mama Burgers for only $9.99. You can enjoy 2 of these delicious, mouth-watering Mama Burgers for only $9.99 at participating A&W restaurants in Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, and Devon. What a deal! And to make it even more convenient for you, most A&W drive-thrus are open 24 hours.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the Association, Formula One, soccer, golf, oh sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.